we go. Hey, folks, welcome back to the channel. It's the BMD, and we are on our show segment, Major League Broadcasting, MLB, here on the YouTube channel. Today, we're honored to have a guest, an upcoming rapper, hip-hop artist, recording artist, and singer. Say hello, everybody, to J Loti. Good morning, sir. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good, good, good. Well, we're going to roll right into the video. Want to know on the pretext, what is J Loti? Where did you come up with that one?
Very simple. It's just an abbreviation of my actual government name, which is Jamie Lothian. It's just an abbreviation, you know.
Yeah, I know, but where did the Loti come from? I hear the JL, but where did the Loti?
My grandfather used to call me that.
Interesting.
So I just.
So when you're doing your music, are you thinking of him?
Am I thinking of? Sometimes I've written about him.
Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
Let's tell the audience a little bit about your background, where you're from, your roots, your heritage, and what brought us to you here today with us.
I'm from Rexdale, Toronto. I have a Jamaican background. That's what was mostly being played in my house, actually, like a whole lot of Bob Marley, like reggae stuff. Reggae, dancehall, and Kool Herc was a Jamaican, and he invented hip-hop. So it's kind of like it goes hand in hand, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And then as soon as you start going to high school and stuff like that, you kind of develop your own taste of the music. So hip hop was like my I'll say like it brought me up, like it was like it raised me kind of, and then I just started writing my own.
So speaking of started, how did you get started in your career?
How did I get started? I started I met this guy named Jerome, but his rap name is Militant. I don't know where he is right now, but he used to be like this amazing writer, and we used to like freestyle, and then he was like, no man, you could actually start writing lyrics, like you should write lyrics. And then we were in high school, we met up with some guys from Dallas who had a record label, and I just started recording with them. It didn't work out as far as like signing a deal or anything of the sort, but what it did help me to do, is to just like hone my craft, and just started from there, basically, the love for writing.
I thought you were going to say you got started this morning with the BMD.
well, this is like a new genesis.
Well, listen, it lets us both connect during this pandemic situation the world is going through. Now, when you got started, how did you know you wanted to do it? Were you singing in the showers? Were you singing in the church, or singing walking to school? Tell us how you got into the business.
I think my start is kind of different. Like, yes, I do sing I still sing in the shower, actually. But how it started for me was like, I would say like, okay, in school, my favorite subject was English literature. Like, I love reading books. So I had a passion for writing. But I didn't know if I wanted to write books, but I knew I loved music. So I was like, why not piece it together? Like writing creatively and using melodies and, and creative writing such as like similes, metaphors, and stuff like that. So I just always had a love for writing. Not necessarily music, but then I found out like, oh, I love music. I could actually piece this together.
Was it like poetry? Or
no, it's like
verses?
It's like literature. Like, so I started reading books like A Raisin in the Sun, Of Mice and Men in high school. Then after that, I started reading books about Marcus Garvey, Bob Marley, and then from there, I just started writing poetry. You are right. And then I was like, I could write poetry, but like I wasn't fully giving it. I was dabbling. And then when I started writing, I'm like, music, I'm like, oh, I couldn't stop. So I'm like, okay, I actually love this. And
You mentioned Of Mice and Men. That's one of my favorite movies, and I also have read the book. What brought you to just coincidentally? What brought you to that novel?
well, truthfully speaking, I think we did it in high school, and then I think the writer's name is John Steinbeck or something like that.
Yes, yes.
So after finding out who wrote Mice and Men, I started looking at his catalog, and he had a book called The Pearl, I think, and there's another one. I don't remember, but it started from there in high school where they gave us Of Mice and Men. I'm like, okay, I have a thing for reading fictional, creative books. So yeah,
Did
and from there I'm reading.
Did you watch the movie?
I watched the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the big tall dude, right?
Yeah.
And the smaller guy.
John
Yeah.
Malkovich and Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump. I forget his name right now.
Yeah. And
did you watch the old one, the black and white?
I think I watched both.
Yeah. Yeah, they were good.
Yeah.
They were
and
good.
I didn't realize until I read the book a second time that he was probably autistic or something like that.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
yeah. And they had to kill him. So you just think like, oh, that's what they were doing back in the days. Like,
yes.
because writing just doesn't come from anywhere. You know, it was probably based off something that was similar, but not all the way truthful.
So what inspires your songwriting? What puts you in the mood? Do you start from world news? Do you start from, experience? You're driving to the studio today. You mentioned that to me last night. So is your mind open and clear and you're looking for new inspirations?
What inspires my writing? I'll tell you, it's a combination of things. First of all, like right now as we speak, it's what I'm going through at the time and what's going on in the world at the time. So with a combination of those two things, whatever is going on in my life and whatever is going on in the world, whatever touches my soul or touches my heart.
Gotcha. Are you happy? Are you happy right now where your career is at?
No, there's always room for improvement. There's a lot that comes with music, right? Like, I'm an independent artist, so I don't have a machine behind me. So if I had a machine behind me, I would be happy. But having a machine behind me means you would have to change certain creative things as well, which I don't want to compromise. So there's a lot to that I desire, but there's a lot that comes with it as well. So, but there's always room for more.
How long have you been at it from start to right now?
I'll say I started recording in 2013. I would say. So was that 7 years?
So are you from the meaning practice makes perfect?
Yeah, because even now, like when if you've seen people record songs before, like they have the whole paper in their hand. Yeah. Like I don't even go to the studio like that because I feel like I'm reading. So like I'll practice the thing for like a whole month before I even go into the studio. So yeah, and I'm still trying to get better.
Well, that's the major key to the game. Yeah. So what about any new projects you're working on?
I am working on a new project. It's an EP.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes. It's going to be called Proceed with Caution. It's going to be like 5 songs, I think. And I have 5 songs, but I'm still like, should I put something else on there, like replace one song with a new song? Like you always have that feeling like maybe I can do better.
Right.
But so I have 2 more songs to record. Then you got to mix and master it and all that stuff. But I want to finish it let it out actually by August, September, somewhere around there.
Where did the title come from?
Proceed with Caution. It came from.
I love that.
Yeah, thank you. It came from. Let me see how I could explain this. Like, okay, so music. I call my music listening music. Like, You know, anybody could say, oh, I'm listening to music, but a lot of people don't listen to music, they hear it. So there's a difference between listening and hearing. You hear the sounds and you jump in and it sounds good, but you're not really listening to the words. So I think like, okay, if you listen to what I'm saying, some people might be like, oh, this is kind of like, this is touchy. Maybe I don't want to hear this, you know? So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're actually going to listen, proceed with caution, because there might be some things on there that might offend some people.
Mm-hmm.
Or it might not, but you know, it's just how I was feeling like, all right. And this kind of music, I'm not singing about the, what do you call it? Like the popular things that you hear on radio as far as like
I got
younger things, the younger guys things like, oh, they're doing Molly or whatever, stuff like that. Right? So like it's different. So proceed with caution because you're not going to hear the regular stuff.
Now, we're at the point where I want you to introduce your first song and give us the title and tell us a little bit about the background, how you made that happen. Go ahead. What's the first song?
The first song is Money Right, because I think that's probably going to be on my EP. That's the first single off the EP. And the song just came from personal experience. Like, you know, you go in and you work for people and they accumulate, rightfully so, they accumulate most of the earnings. And then it's like eating a cake. You eat a cake and then the little crumbs that falls off the cake, that's what goes to you. So I was like, nah, I got to try and get my money in the same position where they are, like try to do stuff for myself. If you listen deeper to the lyrics, there's a lot of meaning in the verses. So I was just like feeling like, okay, I got to stop doing these little jobs that are meaningless and work on the music and get my money right. So that's where it really stems from.
So Money Right is on the new album?
That's the first single. I'm thinking about doing the video in 3 weeks or so.
Get your money right. Get your money right. Gotta get my money right. Get your money right. Get my I gotta find a formula so I can get my money right. My money right. My money right. Make sure my money right and find a formula so I can make my money good. My money good. My money good. Make sure my money good and find the ingredients and become my own chef. My own chef. No restaurant, I just whip it up myself and find a formula so I can get my money right. My money right. My money right. Make sure my money right. Broke from my cash, they don't know how to roll. I got too much drive and it took its toll, but I love to shine cause that's a goal. Liberated mind ever since like 0 years old. It's pretty standard, you know I'm clutch, but I hate algebra. I think it sucks, but I love to multiply, divide this up. We gotta catch your food ourselves, can't let them catch your food for us. Yo, cash rules everything around me, and I don't see no limits or no boundary. In a pool full of debt, they wanna drown me, but I hate getting by, that's why I gotta find a formula so I can get my money right. My money right. My money right. Make sure my money right and find a formula so I can make my money good. My money good. My money good. Make sure my money good and find the ingredients and become my own chef. My own chef. No restaurant, I just whip it up myself and find a formula so I can get my money right. My money right. My money right. Make sure my money right. Different cast, different script, different clip, different ish, different scene, different scheme, different plot, different theme, different team, and I'm queen. Who believe I'll get the cream on this title, make a gain. Better watch me do it clean. Putting profits in my pockets, yeah, it's all about success. Put my money side a tombstone, that's my interest. Different flow, different glow. I'm directing movies, yo. I ain't telling you no jokes. Sit, come enjoy the show. I'm selling speed to a snail now. I sell a pass if you fail now. To the winter, I say hell now. Winter, I say hell. I'm just trying to prevail now. Everything's for sale. I gotta find a formula so I can get my money right. Money right. My money right. Make sure my money right and find a formula so I can make my money good. My money good. My money good. Make sure my money good and find the ingredients and become my own chef. My own chef. No restaurant. I just whip it up myself and find a formula so I can get my money right. My money right. My money right. Make sure my money right. Gotta get my money right. Exit dark and go to light. Make me feel good and it make me feel so right. I don't ever care. I don't ever care. If the money's here, damn right, you know I'm going there. I gotta get my money right. Exit dark and go to light. Make me feel good and it make me feel so right. I don't ever care. I don't ever care. If the money's there, yeah, I gotta get my share.
I heard the song numerous times while we were setting up for the interview, and it had a nice flow to it. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Now, I'm going to ask you a tough question. I ask all the artists. You may think it's a standard question, but I think it's very important. You've had the door shut in your face. You've had the phone hang up. You've had somebody say, not right now, come back next week. How tough is the music industry?
It's extremely tough. All that you just said, it's happened to me a whole bunch of times. But like I tell you this story, like I think I was reading it in a book called Think Rich and Grow Rich. I read it like some years ago, but there was this guy. He was like he bought a piece of land, and apparently there's gold on that piece of land, right? So him and his son kept digging for this gold, and after years, they're like, we're gonna just sell this land because there's nothing on the land. And then someone new bought the land, and they dug for a year, and they found the gold.
Wow!
So it's like you can't give up, because they told a lot of people who are in bigger positions now, no, and the door got shut in their face too. So you just gotta always believe you're great, because nobody sees it but you at first, right?
So who were your biggest inspirations?
Biggest inspirations, as far as musically or just in general?
Well, just who inspires you in life to do what you do?
I say my family. My mom, my sister, my brother. You know, they're my biggest supporters. So.
And what do they do to help make it easier for you?
Just you know, like in the typical family, they'd be like, "Oh, this will never work." They'll actually like give their opinion, like, "Oh, this one's not good. This one sounds good," or "Why don't you try and get it here?" Or, you know, stuff like that. Because at first you'll hear, nah, this won't work. This music thing, it'll never work. So just the support that they're giving me as far as like emotionally, like, you know, you can't ask for more.
So how do you take their constructive criticism? Do you take it with a grain of salt? Does it offend you, or you say, "Hey, you're right"?
I don't take it. I'm not taking offense to it, because prior to that, I've had other people like tell me worse. So like in the early stages, I was hearing like worse than what they tell me. So now I figured like, okay, not everything I do is going to be good. And like I've gone back and listened to certain things that I've done. I'm like, okay, this was not very good, for honestly. So I take the criticism sometimes. Like I'll be like, all right, you know what? I won't put the song out. I'll sit on it for a couple months. And if I still feel like that after a couple months, I will let it out. But if I feel like, oh, they have a point, like I could hear it, then I won't let it out. I'll probably, even Money Right, to tell you the truth, I did the record like 2 years ago. If I let you hear the original recording, it was awful. So I had to go back and write the whole thing again.
Now that brought me.
2 times I wrote it.
That brought me to my next question. Often when you're interviewing, you'll say, I call them spike words that give me a different thought. That's why I like, kind of a freestyle interview where we just wing it and feel each other instead of a script. So when you're writing a song, let's pretend today you're going to the studio, you get a vibe, you write the song, and how do you know when to make it happen, make it work, or put it on the shelf? Or like you said earlier, you have to do some fine tuning?
That's a good question. Like normally what I just do is, like I said, like, because I've never written a song in the studio. So like I'll go prepared, write the song, and then I'll sit with it for at least 3 months. I'll sit with it for 3 months, honestly, and I'll listen to it until I'm tired of it. And then that will give me an indication like, okay, I need to rewrite this, or I need to just scrap the whole thing. Or maybe I might need to get a feature on the song. Maybe somebody else's input might work. Because sometimes like I find like I'll be writing these songs all by myself, and then I'm like, well, someone else's opinion could actually make the song better. So that's what I do. Like I'll sit with it.
How do you know when the song is right where you want it to be, when you dreamed it, you thought about it? Or how do you know when you need to touch it and tune it up, or as you said, bring in another featuring artist?
How do I know? Because like you could just hear it from like your delivery. Like you could tell like maybe the energy wasn't there, certain words weren't said right, stuff like that. And then you could just tell like when you start listening to it and you just like start doing this and you're like, whoa, this sounds good. It's just a feeling. Like you could hear it. You could tell if it's right.
Now, why did you pick hip hop and rap versus reggae, country, rock and roll?
Like, I don't think, okay, like me personally, it's what I grew up on. It's what I when I say grew up on, like, yeah, reggae as well, but like the people who was around, like I was telling you about my friend Jerome Militant.
Yeah.
Like, he actually, like, I used to be at his house. We used to put beats on, and then from there, it was just like, all right, it seems like I don't have a choice. This is what it is. Plus, I can't sing all that well. Like, I could probably write singing songs for somebody else to sing it, but like, this was the perfect thing because my vocals fit better with that. If I try to sing, it would just be like a whole lot of autotune. So
rap and hip hop being hardcore on the verbiage are your songs. I felt didn't have a real heavy hardcore to them. Is that your let's say clean living lifestyle? To the extent of your words don't need all the abrupt, adverse words in it, or have you found a blend, or what's your philosophy on the hardcore of the hip hop?
Hardcore is needed. It's some people live that life. I mean, I lived in hardcore situations. I don't consider myself to be hardcore, but my objective with this music is just to influence the youths, like the people who are listening to music, the younger people. Like, they don't always have to hear hardcore. They can get another taste of this music, like, so that's where it comes from, like trying to influence people positively. So
in the industry, who do you look up to?
You'd be surprised. Like, there's a lot of names I could wheel off probably 15 names right now. But
give us your top 3
in hip hop or music in general.
Just artists that inspire you.
Bob Marley is one for sure.
Yeah.
Bob Marley. You got Tupac, you got Nas, you got Jay-Z. Guys like those.
I thought you were going to say Van Halen, Led Zeppelin.
Actually, I like some of that too.
Listen, song number 2 on the music you sent us. Introduce song number 2 and tell us how that started.
Song number 2, that's Slippin'.
Slippin'?
Slippin', yeah. And Slippin', I actually sent you the song. Just, it's not like, you know the rapper DMX.
Oh yes.
Like I was listening to the song and I took a little piece of the Slippin', Fallin'.
Is that copyright, baby?
Well, the thing is, it's not on YouTube anymore. Like I kind of took it down, but I still wanted you to get a feel of the emotion of the record.
DMX is God gonna make me lose my mind. Right?
Yeah.
So is that what you took?
No, I took just the Slippin', can't get up, slipping, falling, can't get up. Then the other part, it's all mine. It's
you don't want to get DMX up on you.
No, so I just made the record in case, like, okay, later on, maybe if like I have the power to contact him or his label, I could put it out there, so I have it.
Hey yo, Deval, you know what this is? This is my therapeutic music. You know there's a saying, the struggle is for the strong. And me, I've been struggling for so long. Yeah, we can do it like this. Check it. Pop died, sis died too. Stand my cousin up, and he died too. Like it's Stamford Bridge and I'm singing the blues. Depression, paranoia, that's a part of my crew. I don't know my next move, all I know is I'm lost. Trying to find myself, man, whatever the cost. I feel like DMX. Good Lord, why am I so stressed? Frequently, I always try to ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself? I'm having anger and depression. Thanks for your suggestion, but my suicidal thoughts are far from being in regression. See, the question is why a nigga always so mad? Why the hell you so angry? Why life's so bad? These niggas see me at the edge of the cliff, and now you wanna ask me that? Bullshit, man, I'm slipping, falling. I wanna get up, man, I'm slipping, falling. I'm trying to get up, man, I'm slipping, falling. I gotta get up, getting back on my feet so I can tear this up. Man, I'm slipping, falling. I wanna get up, man, I'm slipping, falling. I gotta get up, man, I'm slipping, falling. I'm trying to get up, getting back on my feet so I can eat.
Slipping and I'm falling. Can't you hear me falling? I'm slipping and I'm falling. Can't you hear me calling? Can't you hear me calling? I'm slipping and I'm falling. Can't you hear me falling? I'm slipping and I'm falling. Can't you hear me falling? Can't you hear me calling?
Bro, can I speak my mind? Can I tell my qualms? All the hell I went to college and I struggle with moms. Biological step, I'm residing with Step. I think he hate my guts, I know he want me to step, man. How can a rich-hearted man like me be poor and basically sleeping on the floor? No sun my way, when it rains it pours. Missing every shot I take, yet I'm trying to score. Nigga, I don't do blow, I'm not an alcoholic. I can't mask my pain, I barely smoke chronic. Got lean in my pocket, zero in my wallet. People tell me I'm the plug, but where's the socket? And I bought a new pants, got a new pair of shoes. White man told me no at that job interview. Plus I'm losing my grip, fingers about to slip. Now tell me you wanna help save another misfit? Boy, I'm slipping, falling. I wanna get up, man, I'm slipping, falling. I'm trying to get up, man, I'm slipping, falling. I gotta get up, getting back on my feet so I can tear this up. Man, I'm slipping, falling. I wanna get up, man, I'm slipping, falling. I'm trying to get up, man, I'm slipping, falling. I gotta get up, getting back on my feet so I can eat.
Slipping and I'm falling. Can't you hear me falling? I'm slipping and I'm falling. Can't you hear me calling? Can't you hear me calling? I'm slipping and I'm falling. Can't you hear me falling? I'm slipping and I'm falling. Can't you hear me falling? Can't you hear me calling?
So let's say Slippin' becomes #1 in the world, and DMX is at home on the couch watching a basketball game or something, a hockey game, and he goes, "Hey, J Loti, dude, what are you doing? You scooped my Slippin'."
Nah, he could. I'm not a selfish person at all. Like, he could definitely reap from the song. I just made a song from my heart. Like, the money doesn't matter as much because I think there's enough to be shared. Like, if the song goes #1, like, you could go out and perform it.
Gotcha.
So when you perform it, you'll make that money for yourself. Like, if the song sells, like, the person could make that money too, because you took from them. So rightfully, they deserve a little piece or half or whatever the case may be. So
yeah,
there's nothing wrong.
I'm just kidding you, buddy.
That's all good.
Listen, what about competitive edge? Who keeps your competitive edge up?
Hold on, give me competitive edge?
Yeah.
Give me a second. I gotta pull this chunk open. Competitive. I'm not really as competitive as I was before in my younger days.
But you gotta have a competitive edge to keep going.
Proving people wrong.
Okay.
And proving myself right. That's what keeps me going. But as far as like competition, with like, I'll hear other people and I'll be like, I used to be like, I'm better than this. But then after a while, you're like, no, I'm just trying to be the best version of myself. So just proving myself right and trying to, like, in the midst of it, proving other people wrong.
So your music vision, what was it back in the day when you started, and what is it now?
To be like the richest person there is.
That's a big one.
To be like the richest person there is. And then the second one, and then now is just like, to just, I would say to just like, be happy. That's it. Like,
Be happy.
Be happy. That's it. That's the key.
That's a big one. How are you doing with the pandemic, coronavirus? How's it affected your maybe writing, maybe getting to the studio, social distancing? How's that working for you?
Yeah, there hasn't been much done since then, so it has affected me in a way. But the thing is, like, I'm always like prepared, right? So like right now, I'll probably go and do like 3 things.
So you're going.
I'm gonna go catch up, basically.
You're going to the studio now. What are your thoughts? What are you doing today in the studio?
I'm just gonna try and make some beats.
Now, that's a good lead in on the beats. Do you do your own? Do you rent them, lease them, or how's that work?
Sometimes, but I don't enjoy it as much.
So at the creation level, from the verses to the words, to the beat, to the writing, and then, of course, the rapping and singing, you're a one-man show. That's the vibe I'm getting.
90% of the time. Or now I'm trying to, like, I'll call people and be like, okay, can I get some help as far as, like, people you meet off Instagram.
Okay, and what about the hip hop nation? Have they accepted you as one of their own, or are you still fighting your way through?
I look at it like, I'm more so like, I'm carefree now. Like, if they want to, they will. If not, then no one will ever like everything you do, or some people. I say it's half and half.
You seem like you've got a nice, easy vibe to you on your demeaning, how do I say it? You seem like you've got an easy flow. You don't get too uptight.
No.
You're happy being alive and happy in what you're doing.
Yeah, because once you're alive, you see, like, you stand a chance, right?
You got it. Now, what about we talked about the edge, your vision. and inspiration in that. What would be your tip of the day that you could offer to the listeners and the viewers out here on the YouTube channel? What would your tip of the day be for those that are considering a career in this lifestyle or want to improve themselves? What's your tip of the day?
Just believe in your greatness, even before anybody else believes in it. And once you're still breathing, you still have a chance. And just keep, I say just put in the work, like, because if you don't work, you don't get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just...
How much work are you putting in to your projects?
Shoot, I got like 100 records, so a lot. And half of them haven't seen the light as yet, so...
We've got...
enormous amount.
We've got about 1 minute to go. I want you to say your social media outlet. How can people connect with J Loti?
Oh, yes. I only have Instagram, and it's at 6mayor, number 6 MAYOR. Okay,
well, listen, it's been great having you on the channel. I hope you enjoyed your session with me, the BMD, and
yes,
I've been your host on Major League Broadcasting. Folks, if you've enjoyed the video and you enjoyed the channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and thumbs up on the like button. And our motto on the show is, if you're happy, please tell a friend. J Loti, we're going to catch up soon. Have a good day in the studio, and all the best to you and your family, sir.
Thank you. Same to you, sir.
Bye now.
All right, man. Bye.